Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to twitch.tv/Ice Cream Uploads. My name is Graham Day, and as you can see from these beautifully placed boxes on the screen, if you're watching the video stuff, I'm joined by the man that rubs his hands as he gets introduced. We call him Baby!
Because it's fucking freezing! How's it going, mate?
I'm Sam, I'm wearing my jacket. I'm wearing my jacket too. You may notice a significant drop in the level of volume that I usually have, and that's because we're fucking knackered.
Friday was a hell of a day, wasn't it?
It was amazing. For those of you that may have missed it, we held the triple threat invitational here on Ice Cream Uploads. We've done number one, the solos. We did the second one, Double Trouble, and we were back with triple threat on Friday night, and we expected it was going to be good. We know what we're doing.
Yeah, technically we thought it was going to be good.
Yeah.
Did we see it? Did we expect what we were going to see on the pitch?
It was ridiculous. I mean, the broadcast was phenomenal. Everyone that got involved, the spirits were amazing. We had technical stuff, which happens all outside of our control. Our stuff was locked down.
Yeah.
Anything that we couldn't control, we can't do anything that. But we managed to work our way through it, and it went off. We had 2,100 people watching the stream. It's ridiculous.
I've never been a part of anything like that before.
No,
arguably, you could say it was the most watched PES esports event probably on Twitch in the last 3 years, easily. It's amazing to be even consider how small our channel is to be able to obviously having us on the Twitch front page as people are going through. Like, it's a testament to us because people was clearly flicking through going, actually that looks like it's probably worth a watch.
Well, that's the thing though, like the watch time, all the stats of it were amazing, so we got like a good number of viewers, but then it just it went up, so the front page is like, boom, here's a few people, and then it was like, fuck it, just keep going. And the watch time was amazing, so people that dropped in just stuck around as well, so that goes out to everyone that got involved. Obviously, it wasn't just me and Bib, there was 24 competing players, including Team Ice Cream Uploads, that got their first ever goal.
Quickly followed, not goals, goal.
Quickly followed by a second goal. I mean, it wasn't scored by any of our team. So half of Ice Cream Uploads goals in invitationals has been scored by the Red Men. So good effort, guys. But yeah, 24 players all competing, and we had an amazing tournament. Thanks once again to GT Mega. Pow, knack on. The controls are actually still over there, but all that stuff will be shipped out for providing prizes so we can use for giveaways in streams, on social, and for the champions as well. So big event. Thank you very much to everyone that got involved. It was huge, which is why we are kind of tired. I mean, I was like, still sat here in the studio, like doped up on G Fuel and caffeine and sweets and stuff, going, I'm going to stream tomorrow. Got home at like 1-ish or whatever. Couldn't switch off then, so stayed on the couch till 2-ish or whatever. And then the next day I was just like,
zombie-like.
Yeah.
I had so much to do on Saturday as well. So, like, I didn't get to stay in bed because I had to go and get my haircut at 10 o'clock. So, like, I'd had 5 or 6 hours sleep because, like, once you've been driving for that long on the motorway, you like all your senses and everything, you're just so alert in case someone tries to take you out or whatever it may be. So, nipped to McDonald's on the way home, got myself a Big Mac, went home, sat on the sofa and watched Better Call Saul, like, the first episode and a half of it. And then, I couldn't get up on Saturday, went for my haircut. And I went out on the piss, so then Sunday was even worse. So I don't think I've fully recovered yet.
Build up of fatigue. It's alright. If you can in the chat, just keep typing hello, because if you got the Ice Cream Uploads, hello emote, then when Bibby falls asleep, I'll yell it at him. Because he falls off the
by Article 3.
Everything was made better by the Bibby selfie when he got home. I mean,
it was a good effort.
To be fair, he was meaning to send that to me privately, but that's what happens. That's what happens.
I told you they're only for the OnlyFans account. I need to start earning more cheddar, mate. So I mean, if there's a demand there, I'll start getting my ass out on the camera. I don't get.
Get 2,100 people watching on front page of Twitch regularly. You'll be earning all the cheddar.
That's it, mate. That's it.
Anyway, let's jump into the news. And what does that say there from Pirate?
Hello!
There we go.
I think that's as loud as I'm probably going to be today.
There we go.
That's a bit of a weird one. Right, so the first article. Sorry, I found them, didn't even get them up. This is great stuff.
Maybe struggling to get it up first thing. That's what we're saying.
Usually happens, though, to be fair. Don't matter if it's first thing, mid-afternoon.
And while he's doing that, shout out to my little one who has applied for high school and got first choice, which we got screwed over when she applied for junior school. We basically wanted her to go in one place, and then we made another 2 choices because you can make 3, and she didn't get any of them. Just got like, this is crap and local. So we've applied for school, and she just got the one she wanted today. So yeah,
perfect. Is it like one of the ones that you can get a school bus to?
It's like Oddsall-ish way, so she's in a car 5 minutes, on foot probably about 15 minutes.
Oh, right, okay, yeah.
20 minutes maybe.
That's good.
So,
I was able to walk to both of my schools, like the primary school and high school, but I know there was people who like lived in the other side, the same side, that had to get like either a proper school bus or a normal bus to get there.
I could have done that. I lived with my dad at one side of Huddersfield and moved to live with my mum on the other side of Huddersfield, but my school was still on this side of Huddersfield. So to get there, it was either walk down a big valley or get the bus. So I thought, I'll get the bus. But the bus was like bus into town, sitting in the bus station forever. So I ended up walking down valley past Huddersfield Town's football stadium. And then if anyone's ever been to Huddersfield Town football stadium, there's a feck off hill behind it. My school was at the top of that hill. So it used to take me an hour walking with like a descent, like an ascent, should I say. You
Great
go down
on a skateboard, shit on the way back. You have to go up
you have to get enough speed on the way down.
like one giant half pipe.
So yes, that was it. High school already, that's gone fast. I know, it's ridiculous. We moved next door to my kids' junior school, and the high school is literally 5 minutes up the road.
Morning, Spike, anyway.
Jammy. Good morning. Yeah. Good morning. I know, should we jump in the news?
I think we should. I've got it up now.
Okay, we have a bunch of stories today, so we'll try keep things
tight.
Yes, ish. That's what she said. Can't get it up, get it tight. Job's good. So this is written by TOMAS FRANZESE for Inverse. So do you know what? Good morning, Thomas. We know you're watching. I mean, this is a proud moment for you. You've made it onto the Ice Cream Upload scoop. Well done. Anyway, this article says, Rockstar Games tease sparks GTA 6 announcement speculation. GTA 6's setting may have just been teased by Rockstar, so time to pop bottles? Thomas, God's sake. Anyway, Grand Theft Auto 5 and Red Dead Redemption 2 developer Rockstar Games updated its website on Wednesday. One new image revealed as part of the update has fans in a tizzy about whether or not it means some kind of Grand Theft Auto 6 update is coming. The image in question appears on Rockstar's website when entering the search bar, and is not listed with any of Rockstar's other wallpapers. It features a golden robot hugging Rockstar's R-shaped logo with a full champagne flute resting on the logo's star and a sealed bottle in an ice bucket next to the robot. The neck of the bottle, however, has the year 1998 on the label. The purpose of of listing that specific year in the bottle is causing fans to speculate on Twitter. Could it hint at the time period of Grand Theft Auto 6 takes place in? Another more practical possibility is that it honours the foundation of Rockstar and the start of the Grand Theft Auto series when the company was founded in 1998. I reckon it's that one.
Absolutely, yeah.
The widely rumoured Project America's leak suggests that GTA 6 is set in the past, though that leak specifies the 70s and 80s, not the 90s. Still, the same time period may have changed, or those leaks were always inaccurate, and this image could be our first legitimate clue. If the new game is set in 1998, that would put the game's story right around the events of the original Grand Theft Auto and Grand Theft Auto 2. A private video on Rockstar's channel is also making the rounds among the franchise's fans, with some believing that this could be a GTA 6 reveal trailer. On the other hand, the 1998 in this image might just be honouring the significance of that year for Rockstar and Grand Theft Auto. While the company has roots going further back, 1998 was the year in which it was established. March 1998 is also when the first game in the GTA series released in North America. Both GTA and Rockstar will be celebrating the anniversaries in the coming months, so the image could just be commemorating the 22nd anniversary of those. And I'm assuming this is their summary. The inverse analysis.
I like that.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Good lads, like GG. Out of the two possible options, I'm a bit more inclined to say it's just honouring the company. Still, it's weird that Rockstar would add this image now, about 10 months out from its 22nd anniversary. And what's the deal with the private video on its YouTube channel? It's fun to speculate about what Grand Theft Auto game set in the 90s would look like. Movies like Captain Marvel have recently done interesting things with that time period, and it would be nice to see it explored more in games. If this image is, in fact, teasing some kind of future GTA 6 reveal, I would still expect an announcement anytime soon. GTA 5 is still doing extraordinarily well and is consistently updated, so Rockstar and Take-Two may not have the financial need to make another game in the series. Even if it is in development, GTA 6 would almost surely be a next-generation title for PS5 and Xbox Series X in order to stand out. And next-gen exclusive games likely won't be shown off until those platforms are closer to release. Whenever it does finally emerge, GTA 6 is poised to be one of the most highly anticipated next-generation games.
Thoughts?
I'm gonna go with them blooming us. That's my thought.
Okay, so my thoughts is, Spike said, if it's set in the UK and there's no Jelly Media offices, I'm not buying it. Mate, I highly doubt that Rockstar are going to want to go around the Pulsonly filed area in Blackpool and want to take 3D scans of this shit all around here. It's not going to happen.
I mean, we make it look nice, but it's all lights. It's all smoke and mirrors. That's what it is. That's what it is.
They are going to be... it's definitely going to be set in London again. It wouldn't surprise me if... And this is where I'm going with this. I haven't seen much said about this. So what about if it was a kind of remaster of the original series, because it was top down, wasn't it, back in the day, and they're just going to make a 3D version of the London cities around then, because that would, again, with the bottle it's saying 1998, like they said in the article, that was around the same time that they brought both of those games out, because 2 was kind of like it wasn't a completely different game as far as I remember GTA London. I'm sure it was kind of much the same as the first one, with just like a few London-based-ish missions.
So what was 2 London? My memory's all kind of like...
Yeah, I'm sure GTA 2 was London. But yeah, I'll be surprised. It could just be, I don't want to say a remaster, like a complete remake. So it could be the same missions, just enhanced with the London area, which is why they've got the 1998 on the bottles. It's like a little throwback thing.
Yeah, GTA 2 was London. Wow, I always my memory, because I'm an old man now, I was like thinking it was GTA 2, and then GTA London was a separate one. I remember playing London and just thinking the cars are just not as cool. They're all old and stuff.
But I mean that's just a very small guess. We've already had a GTA London before now. So if they are going to make one, I'd love it to be back in London again, because everyone thinks that The Getaway still is a phenomenal game. They just have like the rose-tinted glasses of The Getaway. It was one of the best games that ever came out. It was at the time. Please, if you have that game, do not play it again. It is fucking shit.
Oh, I was counting down behind my head there, going 5, 4, 3. I was waiting for you to say a specific thing about The Getaway, but
it's shit. Like, don't go back and play it. It'll ruin it for you. Because A Getaway Black Monday is one of my favourite games ever, and I went back to play it again, and it does not hold up at all. Like, it's so outdated. The controls are clunky. So if they can make a London-based game, there's probably no one better to be able to do it than Rockstar.
Well, I saw comments on the weekend about... well, there was a couple of things. There's a red, white and blue sort of flag image on their site. And it talks about like bullying the weak,
yes,
something
saw
else.
That.
So there was like loads of rumours going around whether we're going to get Bully 2, whether we're going to get GTA 6, and then there was like 4 different lines that people were kind of like trying to read between the meanings of those as to what they could be.
Saw that on IGN, but I couldn't find the actual article. It was literally just a post on Twitter that they'd taken a quote and put it into the banner with the colour scheme.
Yeah, it was an IGN one that I saw as well.
I couldn't find an article to go with it.
But I also saw people saying, well, mid-90s, that's obviously late 90s, 1998. Could that be just after San Andreas? Yeah, I'll jump onto that San Andreas bit in a second. So if Rockstar made an announcement soon, what would you want it to be? So on the screen now we have an embedded tweet there, which is Rockstar logo change. So new variations have been discovered on Rockstar.com, one of which includes the words killing dreams, murdering people, fighting the righteous and bullying the weak.
I have it on good authority that isn't the actual quote. It's killing dreams, murdering hope, fighting the righteous and bullying the weak.
Yeah, it was something like yeah. And I saw someone like I don't know if it was in the replies to this tweet.
Yeah, this one.
Is it that one? There you go. Killing dreams equals Max Payne. Murdering people equals Manhunt. Fighting the righteous equals GTA 6. And bullying the weak equals Bully 2. Obviously, all guesswork, but good
Very
guesses.
Good guess.
Yeah,
I mean, there's 5,500 people, well, 5.2 thousand people that have actually liked that tweet. So it's a good shot in the dark if that's what it turns out to be.
Yeah, bullying the weak. I mean, you wouldn't include bullying in your marketing at all,
no,
because bullying is such a shit thing unless you were talking about a specific product. So that kind of seems like why you wouldn't want to bully the weak on your artwork, even if you were, unless you were character building, then it just doesn't tie. So
well,
yeah, there could be something in there.
We featured something on here not long ago about Bully 2. It got about 60% through the development, and then they ended up cancelling the whole thing altogether. So it's interesting if that was just, again, smoke and mirrors to say, oh, we're cancelling this, but then they're just working on it in the background away from the limelight.
Or maybe they were cancel it, and maybe they did cancel it, but we've also featured that Rockstar wants... Take-Two wants more games from Rockstar, so maybe Rockstar are going, well, fuck it then, we'll just bring back Bully 1.5 and finish it, so we get to Bully 2.
Them 4 IPs, shall we say, is just a license to print money. We haven't had a Max Payne game in what feels like forever. Bully was one of the best games that I feel like Rockstar had ever brought out. And Bully 2, I thought was nailed on. I didn't think it was going to be long until we saw a Bully 2, and then we still haven't had a sequel to that.
See, I always thought it literally just got squashed because of pressure. So GTA had shitloads of pressure, but that made it. All of that. No, I don't want my kids driving around in these macro machines.
It was far too mainstream at the time. They wanted to be able to take it down. Bully, it wasn't one of the...
The difference there, though, was you weren't just some like person that you can't really see. You can just see like this head with legs like moving around it from above kind of thing, doing like faceless, nameless crimes. In this one, you were a person that's bullying children. So it was like, I obviously enough on it to make it change its name in some territories. So I thought, oh well, maybe that's why they never made the second one. But yes, actually I realised as well, if you are watching on YouTube, hi! I didn't actually, in my tiredness and chat about the Invitational of the weekend, forgot to say that we go live each and every single weekday at 10 a.m. on twitch.tv/Ice Cream Uploads. We then upload that video as an on-demand piece of content on YouTube, which is maybe where you're watching this now. If it is, hello. Feel free to drop a comment down below and say hi. Bibby will respond with half-naked selfies, as he does when he gets home on Friday evening.
Easy.
We then turn this into an audio podcast that goes on iTunes, Spotify, SoundCloud, and Google Play. So if you can't see all of this, then we'll do our best to give you audio descriptions. I think Rockstar is doing that purposely to build interest. Do you know what, Spike? I wouldn't put money against that.
Yeah, absolutely.
I was like thinking... I can words. I know I can words.
We will start at the end of the sentence and work our way backwards.
So I eventually got there. I wouldn't put money. No, I would put money. No, I against it. I loved the last Max Payne, not because he copied my look, but a lot of people really didn't like it from what I remember. It did well though.
Yeah, it feels like, I can't even remember when the last Max Payne came out, but I'm gonna say at least 10 years. At least 10 years.
While you Google that, I'm going to jump back to the comment I was making before. I saw a number of people saying 90s. GTA San Andreas was 90s. Granted, it was early to mid-90s when you got Carl Johnson and the rest of the gang, Grove Street. That's set in that sort of like Boys in the Hood sort of era. So could it be end of that sort of era? Could it be something like that? And then I saw someone going, oh, there's a trailer here, and it was one of those people that's sharing like a GTA 5 trailer, and it was like Grand Theft Auto 6 San Andreas State or something like that. It looked really cool. Someone's put a lot of time and effort into it, which I love when people do that. I don't like it when you get Muppets that try to pass it off as the real thing. There was a thing with football games a few years back where someone took one of those betting simulator video things and said, look at this football game, look at how good the graphics are.
What's that engine called? It's like the goal engine or something like that. It does look good.
It does, but it was just being circular, and people were like going, my God, football on the PS2 is going to be amazing. Or PS3 or PS4, whatever gen it was. And you're just thinking, oh, you weapons, why? All that for a little bit of clout. Stop it, man. Graham went full Yoda.
So Max Payne 3 came out on 15th of May 2012. So it was 8 years ago. Nearly.
I've never played Max Payne. Is Max Payne the one where you're the cop that takes loads of painkillers?
Yes, and you can do slow motion bullet dives.
I can do that anyway.
Look at that.
It's easy. What we're looking at?
That's actually pretty good. That's the original one on PC. Oh.
Yeah, okay, let's bring it up. Oh. Look at the picture in the top corner. Let's move us. We'll go down there.
So yeah, this is apparently this was a PC remaster. The graphics look insane for a PC.
The graphics look insane for a PC.
Well, yeah, because if you look at that,
I was going to say, you want to see games like Metro. I mean, you'll actually just explode.
No, it's because I'm sure this was a PS2 game and it just looked like a smashed lasagna on PS2. Oh, is that Spike?
Spike!
There he is!
I remember when Sky Sports did an advert that was digitally crafted and people said it was the new FIFA. I think, Spike, we can all agree that people are just idiots. That's the way it is. People always... The thing is, some people will think, oh, it's the new FIFA, but some people... that's it! David... Yes, absolutely. I thought that was Johnny Knoxville. When that came on screen, I kind of... Anyone that will watch back, you'd have seen my head kind of go, as I was trying to figure out, who does that remind me of?
Yeah.
My name's Johnny Knoxville.
Welcome to the end of my gun. Bow.
I did a cosplay of Max Payne. Well, actually? Because it looks like Max Payne was cosplaying Spike there, to be fair.
I agree.
I mean, you were there first before that game was, so... Alright, chill out, Rockstar. Anyway, let's move on. We have a lot to jump through.
What article do you want to go through next?
Let's go this.
Okay.
Still a tasty bit of news. This article was written yesterday, and I believe there has been some official wording put out on it today. So it's probably moved on a little since then. Anyway, let's jump in. Riot Games secret FPS. Oh, let's move the pip so I'm not in the way of the wordings. There we go. Riot Games secret FPS Project A might be called Valorant. Sage advice. And I think we can confirm that @PlayValorant has tweeted some stuff now and is verified on Twitter. So I'm fairly sure that that's what we can confirm now. Anyway, Riot Games' next game, codenamed Project A, is reportedly a tactical FPS called Valorant. Riot revealed the game's existence back in October, and since then it's been pretty quiet. But now Polygon reports that a fan Twitter account, Project A Online, has revealed Project A's official name is Valorant. So far, so what, right? Anyone can set up a Twitter account and Photoshop some images. But what makes this rumour seem credible, however, is that Riot fans have discovered a number of additional coincidences, including confirmation that Riot has registered a Valorant website in the same name, and is possibly behind the Twitter handle PlayValorant, which has stacked up almost 40,000 followers, even though it's yet to post and was only registered earlier this month. Embedded tweet now from @Valorant the game. Most parts of this Project A screenshot have been shared on various pages. Here is a full image in the highest resolution we could find. Is that R? Left, 3 characters named Brimstone, Sage, and Viper. Type, support, defense, offense. B,
awesome.
Chat and avatars, and right is Sage's ability descriptions. Anyway, that's not all though. Another Twitter account, this one entitled Valorant the Game, has gone even further, sharing a leaked image allegedly of Project A Valorant character Sage. It also includes a sneak peek at characters Brimstone and Viper, and if real, suggests the game supports chat and avatars too. Described as a sentinel, Sage's abilities include a barrier, the ability to slow enemies down and heal enemies, and she can also resurrect fallen comrades too. League of Legends developer Riot Games' long-running gender discrimination lawsuit has entered a new phase. You know, we don't need to go into discrimination. That's nothing to do with the actual content at hand. But yes, Project A seems to have a name. And I say seems to, obviously, this was written yesterday. Check out Play... Actually, it might even be... if you go up further up the article and click on that Twitter handle, Play Valorant.
This one.
There, that should open up the Twitter. And there you go. Valorant, which now has 100,000 followers, is verified. Yeah, I think you can safely say that is the case. There are now tweets on it. 2 hours ago, tweeting gameplay previews in multiple different languages.
The Sage character looks like a character that I actually enjoy playing. I like being a healer in games like this.
So how many tweets? 2 tweets, yeah. Summer 20... Yeah, they're basically the same sort of thing.
Oh my god, it literally just looks like CSGO. It genuinely looks exactly like CSGO.
I remember there was a CSGO pro not too long ago, and I think we covered an article that had it in, and he was saying they'd been invited in to play Project A early, and said it was solid. The gameplay was really, really well done, and if it reminded him of anything, it reminded him of CSGO. And looking at this, that's exactly what I'd say as well.
Yeah.
It just completely CSGO. Walls, CSGO textures are weird. CSGO meets Overwatch.
Oh, do you know what? This looks like a game that I could honestly get behind. Like, even when we seen the stuff of it last year, it looked good then. With all the abilities that they're shown in like the minute trailer that they posted, and we've seen the first screenshots. But this whether or not it's got the balls to take on CS:GO. I mean, Riot aren't any strangers to getting involved in stuff like this, and they've obviously got the name to be able to do that. But it's whether or not things like this mythical stuff will hold up against the normal gun mechanics of CS:GO.
It's funny watching things like this mythical stuff though, because on one hand it is, as it says in the bottom left corner, alpha footage, but on the other hand, because of the art style of the characters, like, and the clothing and things like that, it could be like you've got what looks like almost like a real world sort of texture environment, but then you've got like super green and orange and red fire lava and cloud bombs.
It looks like Overwatch and Splatoon put together with the colour schemes that they've got out there.
They've just made CS:GO but tuned up with abilities, lol. And Enix says adds a new dynamic to CS:GO. It does. I mean, that's the thing. I mean, one thing that is, can argue, is it needed? I mean, CS:GO has lasted forever without that new dynamic, but I mean, it's only lasted forever because nothing is used. Adding that new dynamic could be what you need to take its throne.
Well, I was gonna add a article in here today, but we had too many to start off with. I can briefly show it you. We'll just go back to that one for a second. It's something that I seen on Eurogamer, and I was going to add it just off the back of this, really. And it's this one. So Counter-Strike Global Offensive has broken its all-time concurrent all-time concurrent peak on Steam again. So does this mean that people was watching that trailer or heard the announcement and thought, do you know what, I'm going to go back to CS:GO? So at the moment, they both complement each other. Do they put, obviously written by Vikki Blake for Eurogamer? Does she point at any reasoning why? I didn't actually read it. I just seen that. I didn't want to include it today, so I just skipped over it.
Unless it could be, because obviously we were talking about this on Friday. You might not be, because you were down here setting up the scoop, but IEM Katowice took place last week, but it was coronavirus almost to the point of not happening. It happened, but in a massive arena with no one in it. So everyone basically got told, you can't come in, you can come, but you can't get in. So obviously the fact that IEM Katowice happened and the broadcast still happened, yes, you won't have had the crowd, but they will have still had all the viewers and stuff they would have got for that. The fact they didn't have the crowd and the coronavirus stuff impacted it probably led to more viewers online, because people are like, want to see what it looks like when it's so that
it would have been odd, wouldn't it? It's like a football match taking place behind closed doors. It's just odd because you can hear the ball being kicked around and just people shouting on the pitch.
And the echo.
Yeah, it sounds like ISS 98, like you're just kicking around a cardboard box.
It was Connor said one of the guys walked out and like one of the first competitors and acknowledged it by going to everyone, like waving to all the fans that are not there.
Oh, I love that.
Although there was another story as well that Connor shared with some guy, massive Counter-Strike fan. Huge, he's been saving up forever to go to an event. He's got a CS:GO tattoo on his arm, kind of thing. Paid for all his flights and his hotels, accommodation, his tickets, and everything. Went out and then they cancelled it at 8 PM the night before.
Yeah,
Gutted.
we definitely featured that part on Friday because I think there was more developments as it was going along. So I think either the broadcast team or the media team behind CS:GO was like, "We'll pay for you to come back and get back in again."
I was saying to Connor upstairs, I'd be jumping all over that from a PR perspective, because how good can you make yourself look as a company? I mean, obviously it's nice to do good, but as a company you want to be seen to be doing good as well. So you go, okay, this guy's gone as far as getting us inked on himself. The least we could do is just go, do you know what? Yeah, we'll sort you out. We'll sort you out.
So I think that was the most developed part of the story before obviously we finished the scoop. But yeah, we featured that part off. I mean, it's nice to be nice, believe it or not. If this
is the internet. No.
If this guy saved up his entire life savings to go to an event which has been taken over by, what do you call it? Like a
I can hear myself.
Natural disaster kind of thing.
Yeah.
Then you can't help it. But yeah, just getting him back again. There was something about him potentially taking a media badge, so he didn't have to pay for anything. So he'd have all the free behind the, he'd have all the food behind the scenes.
Then it turns out he has COVID-19.
Fuck! Touches all the chicken and starts rubbing on the doors and whatever else.
The finals was bad, lifting the trophy, etc., with zero crowd, like lifting the Premier League trophy with nobody in the stadium. And the Premier League champions 2020 is Liverpool.
One man and his dog at the side of the pitch. Woo!
So they said yes. Then on Friday it was a fan petition. So they said yes then. On Friday it was a fan petition. Yeah, okay. Well, yeah, that makes sense. It's okay. We know the truth that Graham is 100% sellout as corporate as fuck.
Absolutely.
Obviously.
Mate.
You don't get studios like this, mate.
Speaking of corporate sellouts, if you want to sponsor the Scoop, then feel free to give us something that we like iced coffee. That'll be a great start.
Damn right.
Kinder Buenos. That'll also be a great start.
Just packaged meats. That's fine.
Subway, if you want to get involved, then give us a breakfast or a potential foot long each
Basically,
day.
anything that leads to cardiac arrest or any sort of coronaries, then yes, we'll have all of those. Anyway, we digress into death conversations. We jump into our next bit of news, which I'll take Bibby's lead on.
What do you mean?
Am
I getting to choose?
Yeah, go on, you pick.
Let's go with this because it's an involving story.
Okie dokie. So this story is about Pokemon.
Yeah.
It's an evolving story. It's not.
Okay.
It's not real.
We've both got two different ones.
Okay, you had that one on when you said it, and then I changed it.
No, right.
There we go. That one. Okay. Unsurprisingly.
Before we start,
You're gonna go for a wee.
No, we actually said this on Friday, and I was calling it to say that you are literally 6 hours away from this being called. And on Saturday, it got called, so I was out by about 12 hours. But
so your prediction was wrong, basically.
Give or take 12 hours, yes. But yeah, it was kind of inevitable, really.
Yeah, I think we were talking. I think it may even been this show last week or Tuesday last week, and was saying that they're almost at the point where it feels like they're kind of only doing it because they're going to lose money if they don't. Even though realistically they should probably stop it, but clearly they've just gone, do you know what, we're going to lose money whether we do it or not. We might as well lose money and do it properly rather than lose money and make it seem crap. Because as soon as you put the idea that an event is pantsing... Anyway, so before we can have that conversation in a minute, we'll jump into the article which says GDC 2020 has been postponed. Organisers now intend to host a show in the summer after health concerns prompt numerous participants to drop out. This is written by GamesIndustry.biz by Brendan Sinclair. This was published on Saturday. This year's Game Developers Conference has been postponed at least to the summer, event organisers announced today. After close consultation with our partners in the game development industry and community around the world, we've made the difficult decision to postpone the Game Developers Conference this March, reads an update on the event's official site. Organisers have said that they will refund those who had already paid for conference and expo badges. Additionally, those who had booked hotels through GDC won't be made to pay penalties. The Game Developers Choice Awards and Independent Gamers Festival Awards that had been scheduled to take place during GDC will instead be streamed on Twitch. The event's status had grown increasingly precarious in the past weeks as a parade of big-name companies dropped out one after the other, citing concerns over the spread of the novel coronavirus, aka COVID-19. Last week, Sony and Facebook pulled out of the show. This week, host city San Francisco declared a local health emergency, and soon after, Microsoft, Epic Games, and more dropped out.
Yeah,
so
I think on Friday it was EA and Epic both dropped out, and at that point you just kind of like, all right, the other 16 of companies have dropped out. These was our last two potential big hitters. They're dropping out. Who we're going to have left? So I mean, to be fair, with everything that's going on at the moment anyway, they probably should have cancelled it like a week before. But if they cancelled it a week before, the people who've paid for the space, would they have been miffed? So they're just taking the decision out of everybody else's hands? I don't know, but I mean, this should have happened probably a week ago. It'd be interesting to see how long these, because PAX East still went along, didn't it?
Yeah.
So they ran their entire event still to the day that it was supposed to finish. So it'd be interesting to see how long this is going to last now. Like, this was meant to be next week, GDC, or the week after, within 2 weeks, I think it was meant to be. So what about the events that are going to happen after that? When's the threshold that they could potentially start doing these events again?
Well, TwitchCon Amsterdam takes place in the 2nd and 3rd of May.
Okay.
So, start of March, exactly 2 months to the day TwitchCon Amsterdam starts. So either it all blows over by then, or, I mean, this all kind of started around Christmas-ish, early January. So we've moved on a month since then, and it's started to pick up a bit of pace.
Yeah.
It either gets squashed or it just keeps rolling on. So TwitchCon Amsterdam, I mean, give it 4 to 6 weeks, and then you're starting to have conversations of, is TwitchCon going to get squashed? Because 4 to 6 weeks ago, nobody even thought GDC was going to be stopped. So it's amazing to think that
the speed that it's picked up though is mad, isn't it? Like the weird thing is I think it's quite a lot of selfish people that have managed to make this get spread. Like, it's either there was absolutely unbeknownst to them that they had the virus in the first place, but they still managed to board a flight with 300 more passengers on the board. They then become infected with this virus because Trevor next to you is coughing all over your face.
Fuck's sake, Trevor.
And then Shirley's then coughing all over
Shirley.
Ian's face and
Unlucky
whatever it
Ian,
is.
but Ian, God. Yeah.
So
It's
then
like
everyone else travels
that Tenerife
else.
situation we were talking about last week. A doctor. And this is where I'm just thinking, mate, you're a doctor. It's like, it's just been in Italy, which is like massive surge in cases. They're having to close borders and everything.
Yeah.
Do you know what? I'm just going to jump on a plane and go to a completely different place. And it's just like, my God.
Yeah, not go to your nearest GP or go to the hospital where you've been coughing your lungs up for like the last 4 days and you think, oh, it's just the flu. Do you know what I mean? After all this pandemic's happening.
Do you know what will make me feel better? Just rubbing my face on other people.
I'll feel better once I'm back at home. Meanwhile, the whole of Scotland's just decided to start popping up with the coronavirus, which I think they said on the radio this morning there's actually been one case that happened yesterday over there now. So it's reached Scotland, it's in Wales, it's in England. I think there's only Ireland in the UK that doesn't have it so far. Because they're probably all pissed up still in the pub somewhere. I don't know, but yeah, absolutely no stereotyping on the Irish whatsoever.
Absolutely, yes. Well done, babe. Cheers. 55534 says Big Zombie Monkey, which is a hot take. I agree. Sorry, I was cleaning my keyboard.
But with your face.
As Enix says, bank password. Trevor is my new rat's name. Say Trevor. UK's response is, let's put doctors in retirement to fight it. Northern Ireland has it. Bury has it. Bury has it. Okay, I thought you were saying you're in Bury now when you said in Bury now. I was like, well, that's
what I thought.
I was like, that's thanks.
They moved GDC to Bury.
GG.
But yeah, now Bury has it. Okay, so it's getting to a point now. Like, everyone's just going to be having it. And like, to be fair, the way that I'm feeling now, I could fucking have it. Do you know what I mean? I just feel like absolute shit. But no, it's a weird one. Like you said, a doctor. Whether or not he knew that he had it or he thought it was just flu, then decided to get on a plane with another 300 people to go back to wherever he needed to go to. And then
he went to Tenerife. That's who infected Tenerife. It was a doctor went to Tenerife, just down the road from Mrs. Bibby, and then just decided to start breathing on passers-by because that's how he rolls.
Oh my God, this is a story that I heard at the weekend. I don't know whether or not it's true, but it's amazing. So obviously the coronavirus and things like that's knocking about. Apparently, it reached a brass house in Amsterdam, right? So everyone that's in that brass house now has to stay there for 2 weeks. How the fuck do you say that to, like, if you're married or something like, sorry love, I just walked past and now I'm in this brass house for 2 weeks.
Unlucky.
You'd expect a discount, after 2 weeks, wouldn't you? Or a couple of Freemans, but yeah, that's what I heard over the weekend. So not only is it caused a pandemic in Tenerife, Italy, Amsterdam, it's also affecting your local brass houses.
Unlucky. Unlucky. Berry has it. Nope, Berry has it. Do you think Berry has it? I'm not sure. I think Berry might have it. Chill out, mate. It's all right. We get it. David, I don't know if you're still here. You posted a link, shared a link with me yesterday about Linus Tech Tips, saying about coronavirus and stuff. Give us the summary bit on that. We'll jump ahead. I did look at the video, but it was like 10 minutes long and we didn't have time to skim through it. So, yeah, what was the gist of what Linus was saying about how the coronavirus and tech sales and consoles and stuff?
I reckon I think we've covered something like that earlier on about the PlayStation and Xbox, about them making the parts over in certain areas of
like
China.
90, I think it was like 95 or some mega percentage of all US consoles come from China. But then they were saying that the potential of risk of spread of anything is pretty much gone because all these consoles are shipped over in containers, which take days to get over. Usually, the diseases die in 6 hours when left on surfaces. So by the time it gets there, it's gone. However, it's more about the staffing and stuff, and the delays and the restrictions and things like that.
Well, you got to imagine where are most graphics cards and things like that. You imagine all them not come from that side of the world as well. So it's not only is it is it console parts? It's your general technology that gets stuck into your PC anyway.
Well, that was the gist of the video. I did open the video. The new Xbox Corona. No, you can't call it Corona because you'll lose 38% of sales. Sales. American audiences have said that 38% of American audiences public aren't buying Corona at the moment because of the coronavirus fears.
That's so dumb.
If you make choices like that, you aren't old enough to drink. It's as simple as that. You should put the bottles down.
That's dumb.
But yeah, I mean the bit that I did see at the start of Lance Tips videos was skipping through. I think he was basically saying there are shortages starting to happen now, and he was saying if you are buying any hardware and things, buy it now because you soon won't be able to buy it, or because stocks will run low, prices will go high, and
that's what Enix has just said there.
I want to buy the Ring Fit Adventure because I'm diabetic and it's possible to get since production of stock because of Corona. Because of Corona? So that means prices have doubled and game is only 2 months old. Basically, it's that most of the buffer stock is running out on both ends of the supply chain. Excuse me. So prices will rocket for... and memory will increase. Yeah, that's what I thought it was getting at, which is supply and demand. That is the basis of capitalism. If you've got the supply and there's a demand, job's good. And if you've got the only supply and there's a large demand, then you can make absolute wedge, and that's what people will do.
Well, don't forget, just talking about the Ring Fit Adventure stuff. Do you remember how much was it originally? Was it like £99? And they ran out of stock, and then Game had it 180. Yeah, 180 quid they were selling it.
I think it was either that or it was 60 and 120ish kind of thing.
It was double anyway. But it was like supply and demand. We've got this. You want it. You're paying double the price, kind of thing.
Which I mean, it happens. Not even just console as well. I remember having a conversation when I bought my GTX 1080. Paid for it, got a good price. But Mark was saying like how cheap they were. But at that point in time, we had the Bitcoin stuff, so everyone was like farming cryptocurrencies, and because everyone was like, "Shit, I need to farm cryptocurrencies," people were just buying graphic cards, sticking them in PCs, and farming away to sell it to make a bit of cash. But because people were buying up the graphics cards, there weren't enough graphics cards, so the price of graphics cards just went. Yeah. So yeah, it's not just consoles, PC component manufacturers milk it too. 4 of my local chippies have shut because they literally lost a ton of business. It was always empty. Did you stop buying the chips? Is that what it was? Is that why you got the diabetes? God. Also, Dettol sales have massively risen because it kills a different version of the coronavirus, and the idiots think it kills all corona. That's it.
Well, it's like everything, though, isn't it?
You'll see like your great Aunt Margaret or something on Facebook, and she'll be like, "Ooh, Dettol new. It says it kills coronavirus on the bottle, and I've had it in my bathroom for 6 years." It's like coronavirus is the general name of them all. That's why it's called COVID-19. Anyway, paid £145 for a £65 game. Yes, the 1080s were cheap, but Bitcoin farming doubled to triple the price. Same with HDD shortage. Yeah, exactly. Anyway, let's move into
this one.
Yes, something that's let's go from bad news into wonderfully good news. It's always pleasant and fun times when we talk about Google Stadia. Latest Stadia update hints at free tier launch YouTube streaming features. No word on when they'll be available though. This is written by Chaim, Mr. or Mrs. Gartenberg for The Verge. Says Google Stadia had a rough launch with plenty of missing features and unfulfilled promises. But the latest update to the Studio Stadia app hints that some of those features might be coming soon, including the highly anticipated free tier, YouTube streaming, family game sharing, and more, as spotted by 9to5 Google. The biggest thing is an indication that Google is gearing up to launch its free Stadia-based tier of service soon. 9to5 Google reports found strings in the app that allow for registration without a paid Stadia code, along with a free 1-month trial for Stadia Pro memberships, which includes several free games along with other benefits. Is it because GeForce Now have a free tier? Maybe. Also found in the app is an indication that Google may be limiting the number of people who can sign up and play Stadia at one time, with warnings that, sorry, Stadia is full in your area, and in order to provide the best gaming quality for everyone, we limit the number of accounts on Stadia. We've hit that limit, but we're working hard to build additional room in the Stadia cloud so more people can enjoy the same high-quality game performance. Please check back in the future for new player availability. See that? They don't have features, but yet they're already looking at limiting people. Oh, we need to stop people being able to access nothing.
Do you reckon then, with the statement like that, they originally made room for the amount of people, but then realised that not many people picked it up, so they scaled it back. But since because this free stuff, I think should have been in by now, because you had the base, you had the pro one which you got, which lasted 3 months, and then they was going to try and roll out the free ones. Now I'm sure the 3 months is up now, and it was the beginning of November that they started rolling them out, so it should have been the beginning of February where the free version started to come in, and it's still not in yet. But they were still expecting people to want to. I'm sure we covered this as well, to say that it, as an early adopter of Google Stadia, by getting the pro version, they should have had their bracket extended by like another 6 months for a goodwill gesture, because of how shoddy it was when it released. You didn't start to get your pro benefits until 2 months after the fact. So realistically, they should have had it extended, or as a goodwill gesture, at least push it on another month. But again, what do we know about trying to make?
Absolutely nothing, clearly. Nothing. Anyway, another new feature hinted at in the app is the long-promised ability to live stream games directly from Stadia to YouTube, something Google has been showcasing as a major feature for Stadia since it was first announced. New strings for buttons and menus related to starting, managing, and stopping YouTube live streams are spotted in the latest app, implying that the feature could be rolling out soon. As a Twitch partner, that's irrelevant to us. But given that live streaming games on a traditional console or PC still requires a fair amount of know-how and hardware, making it as simple as pressing a button in the Stadia app could be a big feature for Google's service.
It's a piece of piss on the PlayStation. You press share, you press Twitch, your game's available on Twitch.
Say, Verge, absolute lazy. And given that the live streaming, it's not given though, it's piece of piss. You can just stream straight off your PlayStation.
Oh, and your Xbox to Mixer. You do the same format. You press Windows key on your controller, select share, pop it into Mixer, and then boom, you're good to go. That's not having a knowledge on how things work.
Yeah,
they're just thinking from a PC standpoint. If you want to use your Elgato or your Ava Media or something like that, where you want your stream to pop, if you want to be as simple as just firing your gameplay over to a platform of choice, it's a piece of piss.
Yeah, and it's such an ignorant sentence. Given that live streaming on games on a traditional console or PC requires a fair amount of know-how and hardware. No, if you've got a console, you can stream. If you've got a PC, you can stream PC games. But that's what they're basically saying here is that they're forgetting the fact that you're having to buy the Google Stadia hardware. So you are still purchasing hardware to...
Yeah.
Anyway. Sadly, the hinted at features are just that for now. Hints, there's no indication of when they'll be available for customers to try for themselves. Still, it's an encouraging sign that Google is working hard, are they, to make its initial Stadia promises a reality, even if these features are coming later than fans may have hoped. It's good that they are adding more stuff. It's good that they have the free tier. It's good that they are adding streaming options. But it just sounds like I have an iPhone. I'm not an iOS fanboy. I have an iPhone. It works really well, and there's nothing that's particularly tempting me away from it. Just like someone with an Android phone might be like, well, I don't really need to go get an iPhone.
I've just rolled out into a new contract with mine. I upgraded my...
Because you know how it works.
Exactly.
And you know it's reliable.
With it. It works.
So I have... I stream on Twitch. I'm a partner, but let's take that away. I stream on Twitch. I like this platform. This is where it works. This is where that's all well and good. If you want Stadia, you can only play it on your Google Pixel phone. Okay, well, I understand it's the Google ecosystem, but I'm a gamer in the gamers universe. I want to play games. I don't want to play Google products. So okay, I can't play it on my phone. Fine, I'm going to stream to it. You can only stream on Google's owned platform. It's just like, stop narrowing everything to just your own remit and doing it badly in the process.
So in the last couple of months, we've seen that they've started to roll out the free stuff to, I imagine, a very small amount of people, because the area's not the rooms aren't available in your particular area as per the messages that I've seen there. And we've seen that they've started to roll it out onto other Android devices. Preferably, well, it is the Samsung devices. There was another manufacturer as well that got thrown in there. Can't remember who it was, but I just remember mostly it was all Samsung devices. So you got Samsung and now Google Pixel. You still can't play this on 4K on your PC if that's what you wanted to do. And there's still various things that are missing that they promised from launch. So albeit they are making moves forward, then I don't think they're taking enough steps to try and make this the product which they thought it was going to be.
Not even thought, that they actively said like that. Also found in the app is the indication that Google may be limiting the number of people who can sign up. So these warnings haven't gone out. This is people jumping into the code. But you aren't satisfying all mobile users. You've got Google phones, you've got some Samsung phones. Are you looking after Huawei? Are you looking after Xiaomi's, which all run on Android? Probably not. Are you looking at iOS? Definitely not. you've got streaming functions. Okay, you can stream to YouTube. Can you stream to Twitch? Can you stream to Mixer? Can you stream to D-Live? Can you stream to Caffeine? Doesn't sound like it. So all of those people can't get into the product. They're only just releasing the free feature, which means only people are paying for the paid stuff at the moment, which there's nothing to pay for, someone's doing it. So there is nobody using this service, and rather than focusing on getting more people in and building more functions, they've been spending times working out how to cap people. Sorry, Stadia is full in your area, and that we've hit the limit of people, of number of accounts and stuff like that. You're not going to need that. Not for a long time. So you've literally just wasted your time. Honestly.
Again, it's one of these things where early adopters of this thing, it's not as if we're just flogging a dead horse for the sake of our benefit.
You can't kill a dead donkey, says.
So it's not as if we're bad-mouthing it because we haven't got it and we just think it's a laugh. We've got this shit. We still can't use it to the best of our ability, and it's not the console experience like we was promised. So therefore, why should I say anything good about it? Like, I'm very much if it's good, give it credit. If it's bad, you've got to call it out, kind of thing. So why would that change?
Lost the mouse.
In my opinion, now.
Can't find it.
It's on the screen there.
Why is it? Oh, it's because this mouse just doesn't really work on this surface.
No, yes, I've got to move the mat.
There we go. So jumping back up. Google Stadia, because everyone likes a good laugh. Too little, too late. As an early adopter, I'm happy I made more of my Founders Edition. Developers have just come out and said they are not offering enough money. That's why they're not putting their games on there. Says Enix, who links to a Business Insider article as well, which covers that. On an old QI episode, they said bleach kills all germs, viruses, and bacteria, but to cover themselves, they say 99.9%. Free should have been. Free should have been in January. Still sticking with the Google. So drink bleach. Got it. Yep, and you'll have white poop. You know the Stadia is crap when people would rather talk about white poop and drinking bleach than join in the discussion. Amen. So okay, the Google are preparing a statement where they declare they are not competing with anyone because they don't exist in gaming anymore. We don't believe that mobile phones and games and streaming platforms are our competitors. We believe that just existing life is our competitor.
Yeah. Spike's. I've just seen Spike's message. So here is his cosplay from Max Payne. It's actually sick. Wait for the next one. You ready for it?
Let's do it.
Boom. That's absolutely. I mean, 10 out of 10 for the shirt.
That's a baby shirt.
Absolutely, that is an absolute screamer.
Max Payne meets Max Poon.
But that shirt is absolutely dynamite.
Yeah, I nailed it. GG. GG. I do love a good cosplay. I like cosplays where you can almost like stealth cosplay. So cosplay where you wear it and anyone that knows it can be like, all right, I see what you did there.
Yeah.
Everyone else just thinks, oh, it's just maybe a touch flamboyantly dressed. I've got the insert coin, The Last of Us Joel shirt, and whenever I put that on, I always go, well, putting a pair of jeans and some boots on with it just because it's Joel. And very few people realise it, but every time I do, Craig Pitt.
Asked him shout it up a few times as well.
Oh, yeah, exactly, yeah. So quite a few people that know games know it, but most people just think, look at this guy in his green shirt.
Is this the last article of the day? Unless I've just not opened one.
We've done GDC.
Rockstar.
That additional one at the bottom, which we did. I was gonna talk on that after GTA, but got completely forgotten. So let's just jump on it now before
this
we.
One?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
we can end on a good term then.
We did touch this last week. I think Bibby and was it Luke? Touched on this on Friday, but just.
I moved our face.
Kojima Productions is teasing something for next week. This was obviously written 3 days ago, so something could potentially be happening this week. So what's Hideo Kojima's studio up to now? What's that?
I've just seen the picture underneath. I haven't read this article yet, so I haven't seen it, but we'll come to it in a second.
Okay.
Piss myself.
A new tweet from Kojima Productions suggests that the studio has something to announce next week. Aki Saito, head of communications at Hideo Kojima Studio, posted a message to fans on February the 28th saying, "Sorry to be silent, everyone," he said. "I've been really busy lately. each one of those has ellipsis, aka ... afterwards. I think I can say more soon about where we are going to ... Saito's message ends there, but there's more to the tweet. The attached image shows Saito writing next week on a notepad, which is about as blunt as teasers get. So there we go. Scrolling down, if you're looking at this on Twitch or hello.
It's such a staged photo.
Absolutely. So this, if you're watching on the video services, shows an embedded tweet from Koji Pro 2015 and Scott Ien, which is Kojima Productions on Twitter, and it's the same tweet again. Sorry to be silent. I've been really busy. I think I can say more soon about where we are going to. Hashtag Kojima Productions. And then below that is another link tweet featuring J-Bo, who is a very good man. Hi all, Aki is still alive and he is still head of communications. He's in Japan and I'm in the UK. That's in response to people were thinking last week, obviously it was announced that J-Bo has been appointed head of comms, or been appointed working on comms for Koji Pro. But he hasn't taken over Aki's job, so that's essentially what that post is there. Asim says, Jay Bizzle in the chat. See, for those of you who don't know, J-Bo used to be head of comms at Konami, and Asim Tanvir used to be head of all the things at Konami. And yeah, they work together so that they know each other. Some fans went further down the rabbit hole and latched onto the fact that Saito is holding a pyramid brand pencil. I do love when you get this sort of pick apart stuff. The thing is, okay, I'll jump onto the stuff afterwards. So Saito is holding a pyramid brand pencil, coupled with Saito's use of silent in his message. This has led some believe that Kojima Productions may have Silent Hill news to share. It's a fun theory, emphasis on theory, but it's much more likely that a pencil is just a pencil, and Saito used the word silent because, well, he'd been silent on Kojima Productions social media for a while. Ta-da!
Of all the words to use, though, do you know what I mean? Sorry it's only been a little bit quiet, but no.
Quiet? From Metal Gear Solid 5?
Oh, do you know what I mean? It's like one of them. It's just one of these things at the moment, isn't it? Anyone's looking for the small little bit of detail, but you gotta love it.
Nevertheless, Kojima Studio is up to something, and based on an interview from January, it could be anything from a manga to a movie to a big new game. Kojima did say his studio is planning to work on multiple game projects, one of which would be a big game. However, he also said he's considering manga, anime, and movie ideas which would incorporate designs from Yoji Shinkawa, a key Metal Gear Solid artist and the art director on Death Stranding. This could also be more Death Stranding updates. Who knows? Hopefully next week's surprise narrows things down. In more credible Silent Hill rumours, we do know that Konami is considering ways to provide the next title.
We covered it. I think we've seen a story on that to say that there was bringing out potentially a film and then a game to go alongside it, but there wasn't in the same universe. I can't remember the article that we previewed on it, but they said there was meant to be 2 Silent Hill things coming out. Christ knows.
Christ knows.
Christ knows.
So that, I mean, the key thing there for me, like, use of the word silent, if it was capitalised, then obviously that's too obvious. But the fact that it's silent, I mean, how do you even, does it, I mean, I've not actually clicked, I'm going to click on this image to see how clear pyramid is. Yeah, that's fine. Pyramid, I imagine, is just any regular pencil. If it was like something that was hard to get hold of, then it'd pop. But so anyway,
everyone's trying to cling on. I mean, PT was potentially one of the most, well, it was one of the most terrifying games that I've ever played in my life. It was brilliant. To say it was only like a 40-minute trailer of a game, an interactive trailer. Sorry, teaser.
Could say, God, mate.
Teaser, mate. It was fantastic, and I would have loved to have played the Kojima Silent Hill game. It would have blown my mind, which it did in the 40 minutes that I played it for. So, for them to potentially, you've got to think though, what does the road look like for Konami on one side and Kojima on the other? Are they going to meet in the middle at some point again? I have absolutely no idea.
I mean, stranger things have happened in the world of gaming. Do I see that happening? Possible. Do I see that happening now? I think it's very, very soon and quick to happen. What I do think, though, is those pictures you've got, Aki Saito and J-Bo, 2 guys who are very, very well versed in doing international and large-scale games industry PR. So they could absolutely 100% have put those little bits in there just to drum up a little bit of exposure, a little bit of PR around their own announcement by just putting in Silent and Pyramid and letting you read between the lines and go, no, you just tuned in on your own Steam. I mean, that could be just genius from them in terms of, well, we'll get eyes on. The downside, if that is what they've done, could be that people are sat there with their Silent Hill t-shirts on, their pyramid head masks on, just eating their tea, watching the stream or whatever with a big pyramid head out, like, and then it just turns out to be like not Silent Hill but Loud Mountain or whatever Kojima's version of it is going to be.
Loud man.
Opposites, you know, Hill, Mountain, Silent, Loud.
Oh, that'd be so good if I could make something like that. But I mean, I obviously don't know Kojima, never met him, never met the man. But does he have a sense of humour that he would have absolutely been pissing himself at that kind of thing if it got posted? Has he got that kind of? I want to say European sense of humour because obviously as Europeans and especially as Brits, we love to take the piss out of ourselves and be super sarcastic. Has Kojima got that in his locker that people will be like, or will he be absolutely horrified that something like that?
I do think he does have like that kind of sense of humour when it's obviously he's his own person, so he finds what he finds funny, obviously. But he has done that with PT. So PT, it was at like 18 whatever studios, and it showed you a picture of like a forest kind of area with a cut down tree, and people are like, what does the cut down tree mean? And blah 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 blah. And it was just one of the employees' back garden. And I think at 18 was like the square meterage of it. It didn't mean anything, but he knew that people would be like,
yeah.
So he's done it before in that sort of sense. Not so close to the bone with the
that's what I mean. It's too on the nose. Do you know what I mean? It's a weird one. I mean, if it asked him if he's still in here, I'd love to hear your thoughts on this as well. Obviously, you might have a...
Yeah, you've been closer than most. Obviously, your thoughts, bearing in mind what you can say.
Yeah, if there is anything to say, but in regards to his personality, like, I don't know whether or not he'd be horrified with this kind of statement being put out, whether or not he'd find it absolutely hilarious. It'll be interesting to know that kind of thing, because like you say, if he is a person that likes to take the piss out of himself in regards to how much he knows when it's being tweeted out like that, will he be horrified? It'll be good. He actually just got on there to say, Asim says, he loves to tease and play with the fan base plus press. This was 100% orchestrated for this type of reaction. Unless Konami management have made up with Kojima, unlikely, no chance, which is what I imagine 90% of the video game world will probably understand and know that for a fact.
Yeah, I agree with that last bit. No chance for Silent Hill, that is. They could be using those words, and I say they... the key thing for me here is this is on KojiPro2015_EN. It's not on at Hideo Kojima EN. And Kojima would not stand back or stand away from what looks like a little bit of an interaction, a staff interaction. You've got Aki and Jay communicating. If it was a bit of that, Kojima would be involved in that. If it was that around announcing the game, you'd feel he's got to be involved in there somewhere. So that makes me think this is something playful that is setting up, obviously, the announcement. The announcement could be the big thing then, but I definitely don't see it being Silent Hill. It could be their spin on a scary game. Kojima said he loves horror. He would like to get into horror. He's been watching whatever that film was that he mentioned.
The Eye or something like that.
The finger.
The ring.
The thumb. Sounds like the scariest film of all time. The thumb.
But Spike's just said there, screw Silent Hill, create a new horror IP, that's what I would like, something original. That's what he does so well. I will kind of agree with that. As a Silent Hill fan, the road that they was going down with the new Silent Hill, with the reboot itself, was the perfect way that I saw Silent Hill going. Him at the forefront of that, using that title, potentially that universe, because the Silent Hill universe is fantastic for a cycle. What is that noise?
It sounds like...
I thought someone was trying to... It sounded like someone was kicking that door, and before that's why I looked through there.
We have an office dog. It also sounds like Finney was scratching upstairs.
He's just wiping his arse on the floor, innit? But the way that Silent Hill and the universe that they have with like the paint coming off the wall and going into a completely different universe of like really metallic, rusty, that it was just a horrible vibe to be a part of. That would have been the perfect way for me, a Silent Hill fan, for that game to continue, as well as the psychological part of... Well, the only part that we're seeing, where you're just walking around the corridor and it fucks with you when you interact with more things as you go along. That psychological horror, it's been a long time since I've been able to play a game like that. So his and I mean this in the nicest possible way, his fucked up imagination in a horror world would have been amazing for me to be able to play through. And I imagine the rest of the people are like playing any kind of Silent Hill or horror game. So if he was to make his own IP, I imagine it's probably going to be good in a horror sense. I mean, Death Stranding was not for me. Like, that game, probably wouldn't have enjoyed it. From what I've seen so far, it just doesn't look like my kind of game. But his mentality around a horror universe, absolutely, I would absolutely love to play in that.
Yeah, I'd have loved to have seen where he would have gone with it as well. Because the thing with PT is it had no real bearing on the game. It was teaser. So the nature of a teaser is you're teasing either their theme or the story or the actors or the technology or whatever. So that wasn't necessarily representative of the final game in terms of that hallway. You might never see it in the game.
Exactly.
But
what the fuck is going on?
just everyone just have a banging on.
I'm just waiting for a car to plough on the side of the building here now just to finish it off.
So, but that, just as a teaser, that literally is that is him teasing what he can do, and I'd love to see whether it's Silent Hill, whether it's Loud Mountain, or whether it's something else that sounds bullshit that I've just made up. Whatever it is, well, we all agree we would like to see it.
There was no Silent Hill element in that playable teaser though. There wasn't anything that stood out as to, oh my god, this is actually a Silent Hill game. Like, you didn't know it was a Silent Hill game until you finished the teaser itself. So again, if it was to make his own IP, it doesn't necessarily have to have the crumbling walls and the atmospheric undertone of a universe that doesn't exist in fog or whatever it could be. You didn't have to have that. So a new IP, as long as it's got his, again, the nicest possible way, fucked up imagination within the game.
I reckon he would have had all that Silent Hills, like the fog, the changing of light environment stuff. I reckon he would have had that, but putting that in would have spoilt the end.
Exactly.
Of the. So
it was. It's been before playing that playable teaser. It's been a while since my brain was absolutely blown with like having Norman Reedus just walking down the road. You're like, it was at the height of The Walking Dead. So like seeing him being mocapped in the game and having that Guillermo del Toro pop up on the screen with his name, and then Hideo Kojima, like, oh my god, yes, this is going to be amazing. And it's such a shame that it never came about. But
maybe locked away in a dark room. I'm playing games. That's what I'm doing. from the sounds of his voice, that's exactly what he was doing.
Yeah, but again, hopefully it'll be a match made in heaven when he finally decides to start getting creative with the survival horror side of things.
Hopefully it'll be very, very, very soon. Speaking of very soon,
as in the present,
right now. Our final bit of news for the day. Obviously, we're talking about demos and teasers that we can't play anymore because that's PT. But you can play Final Fantasy VII Remake. So the Final Fantasy VII Remake demo is out now for PS4, written by Sam Byford for The Verge. It's happening. If you have a PS4, you can now play Final Fantasy VII Remake, which is a sentence that a lot of people have been waiting forever to hear. I just want to say one thing. We picked on the Square Enix tweet last week, and I said it's got to be next week. At the very latest, the week after. We've got 4 weeks until it's out. If it's not here by 2 weeks before, then something's gone wrong. Boom, next week.
There we go.
So tune in for the scoop for all of your games industry know-how. Believe it or not, we know things. We guess things right, anyway. If you have a PS4, you can now play Final Fantasy VII Remake, which is a sentence that a lot of people have been waiting forever to hear. Square Enix just released a demo of the upcoming game on PlayStation Network across the world, and the link in the tweet below should take you to your local store. The Final Fantasy VII Remake was first announced in 2015, and after a recent delay, is now set to be released on April the 10th. It is, of course, a remake of 1997's Final Fantasy VII for the PlayStation, which is probably the most titanically popular Japanese RPG of all time. The game we're getting in April isn't the full story, though. It'll only cover the opening Midgar section of the original release, and Square Enix hasn't said how many episodes it is planning to develop. So embedded tweet now from @Final Fantasy VII, which is VII, on Twitter, says, we've just released a free Final Fantasy VII Remake demo on the PlayStation Store. What are you waiting for? Download it now and experience the beginning of the story for yourself. And that's the end of the article. Okay.
It needs to be much more than that.
Clearly just out there for the clicks, and we clicked.
Absolutely.
It's fine.
It's basically, I've seen it on Twitter, and then these was the first Who's news source site that posted about this game going out. Because everyone that was posting it on Twitter didn't have a link to an article, so I just googled it, and then this was the first one that came up.
Play on the video. All muted. It's a decent enough video. 26 seconds.
So what's Soldier Boy's deal?
He's a professional.
That was loud.
Yeah, we'll keep it muted. That's fine. That was the best Final Fantasy for me, but I honestly think it was the original art/style that I loved so much. I'm sure I'll watch this, but can't see myself playing it. And surprising, a person named Enix in the chat says, waiting for it to download. I mean, I can't believe it. Hashtag spawn, hashtag placement. Yeah, they're decent. I'm going to play it first 8 hours. I need to dig some more time into it. That's talking about Death Stranding.
Asim says, confession, never completed Final Fantasy 7.
Do you know what? Confession, played about 20 minutes of it.
Yeah, it's like an 80-hour game. It's like an 80-hour game unless you've got that kind of time to put into it. Way back when, then it doesn't surprise me. They are acquired taste, or there most certainly was back then anyway. But this is a completely different game. Like, it's not the same. The storyline is probably going to be quite close to the original, but it's a remake. So we're going to see, is it going to get the kind of Resident Evil treatment where it's very similar plot lines, but they're just taking alternative routes to get there? I mean, the battle system is completely different this time. It's like what looks to be real-time combat rather than turn-based, which for me is a nice little change up. I've kind of grown away from the turn-based battle side of things.
I never really got into turn-based. Apart from Pokemon, I never really got into turn-based. I played quite a lot of Final Fantasy X, but as I've said many times on the scoop, that was mainly to play Blitzball.
Yeah, brilliant game mode. It's criminal they did not release a separate game of that.
I don't get how no one has thought, let's make like a PES or a FIFA kind of sports game, but with either Blitzball or Quidditch from Harry Potter. I mean,
I was just about to say it's exactly like Quidditch, but they did make a Quidditch game on PS2. It was wank,
yeah.
But
We don't count that one. That's
but yeah, Asim said he'll be getting this based on the demo, so I hope it clicks with me. I imagine it will. It's like an action adventure game now with real time combat, so it's more hack and slashy. If you like action games, regardless of the title, it could be called anything. It could be called /7, and it'd just as good. So
sounds like one of those films where people pee on each other.
Well,
I've seen those films.
I never would have put two and two together like that. So obviously we know what Graham's been doing this weekend. But yeah, it's going to be. I do think it's going to be top 3 games of the year. By an absolute landslide. Fair enough. It's not going to be the full game. We just get in the Midgar section of it. Which I think is maybe a third, a quarter at best. So we'll see how many episodes it takes to be able to complete this. I don't think it's going to be done until 2022, if I'm being perfectly honest.
I did see, I seem to remember seeing comments about, and it's probably in this discussion of how many episodes. Maybe it wasn't an official word, maybe it was other people using other things as a basis, but saying it could be as many as like 7 episodes kind of thing. Which if that's a case of they're just stretching it out to make a bit of money, it's a bit shit. If it's a case of the story is that good, that to tell it properly it needs 7 installments, then fair enough. But just make sure you do it for the right reasons.
Don't forget it was a 4-disc game when it came out originally.
Yeah, that's the reason why I played it for 20 minutes, because I got 20 minutes into it kind of thing, and then it was like I can't play this for days and days and days, and have it using all of the space on my memory card. I think I mentioned this last week as well. 15 slots it took or something, and I was like, I'm not having all 15 slots on my 1 meg or 8 meg memory card. Whatever. No, it was 1 meg, wasn't it? I think PS2 was 8 meg.
Yeah. I remember paying an absolute fortune for my PS2 memory card as well. Supply and demand, Argos, you bastards.
8 megabytes. Just think of all the things you could do.
Well, I've got a 64 megabyte memory card on my PS2 now. Like, it's ridiculous, and it cost me like £6 from eBay.
Yeah, but that was back in the days when you bought a right angle piece of plastic just so you can play with 4 mates. Multi-tap.
Oh yeah, the boomerang multi-tap. What an invention.
Oh, loved it. Oh, back in day. Anyway, that's it, ladies and gentlemen. We have finished the show. If you have anything that you want to add, then feel free to drop it in the chat now. If you want to do it before we go off air. If you are watching on YouTube, feel free to drop comments down below. We do check through. We do respond to comments on there. And if you like the video, feel free to give it a like too. We will be back at 10 a.m. tomorrow. Josie will also be back. Is it tomorrow?
Yeah, tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm just thinking. I know that she has another day off soon, but I can't remember when that is. She could be back tomorrow. I think she is. I think she is. So yes, make sure you hit follow if you're watching on Twitch as well. You'll get notified when we go live, so you don't even have to come looking us out. You'll get the little notification pop up on your phone. Jobs are good, and there we go. And that's about it for today. Anything you want to add before we do disappear, babe?
Yes, as always, if you do see any video game news knocking around your social media platform of choice, then do feel free to tag Ice Cream Uploads across all social media platforms at We've Got Rubinho and at Graham_Day. We'll take your thoughts and opinions and our thoughts and opinions on the very next show.
Lovely. Do you know what? Because we have to. I mean,
Pirate's not here, he's not doing his job.
Honestly.
Oh, he is. He's posted it.
I mean, he was just sat there waiting for his moment. I mean, that's what. I mean, I'm saying honestly. I was about to rip Pirate down, but I meant honestly, babe. He's doing his job. Leave him alone. Back in day when we fill 2 cards. It's gone. No. Back in day when we fill 2 cards of CAWs. Is that creator wrestlers?
It must be.
I think it used to take 1 memory card spot for your creative wrestler kind of thing.
Per wrestler?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what it was.
That's brutal.
I know. So yes, the links in the chat, !mark socials, if you ever watch on Twitter, and Pirate's not here, we'll get you links to all of our social media without you having to type, and !mark merch will take you to our merch store where you can see sexy Ice Cream Uploads merchandise, including the jerseys that we wore on the Invitational on Friday. Spike, let us know when you get your jersey. It still could be a few weeks left yet, so you get printed freshly, but
weeks later.
A long time later. Anyway, that's it. Have yourselves a very, very lovely day, ladies and gentlemen. And as always, remember to stay